Imagine you're David, standing in the shadow of a corporate Goliath. This is the world of startups today, small, agile and innovative. Going head to head with a billion-dollar corporation that once seemed untouchable. Now, something extraordinary is happening in today's fast-paced digital world. These underdogs are, well, not just surviving, they're winning. How? By embracing change, innovation, and outsmarting their slow-moving corporate counterparts. Startups are rewriting the rules of the game, proving that with the right idea, the right people, and the right timing, even giants can be brought to their knees. But what does it take to challenge these titans? In 2010, a small team of developers led by a visionary named Brian Chesky was hustling out of a modest apartment in San Francisco. Their idea? A simple website where people could rent out their homes to travelers. It seemed insignificant compared to the hotel industry, a trillion-dollar behemoth that had dominated hospitality for decades. But in just a few short years, Airbnb, what was once a struggling startup, revolutionized the industry and challenged the very foundation of hotel chains worldwide. This story is not unique. Startups across sectors are challenging long-standing billion-dollar corporations in ways that were once unimaginable. We're living in an age where the only constant is change. Industries that once seemed invincible have been shaken to their core by small, nimble startups. The disruptors of today have the advantage of speed, innovation, and a deep understanding of technology and consumer behavior. Kodak, once the titan of photography, didn't foresee how digital cameras and later smartphones would erode their market dominance. Similarly, Blockbuster, once the king of video rentals, was too slow to adapt when Netflix embraced online streaming. Startups often focus on identifying inefficiencies or unmet needs in traditional industries, offering solutions that are faster, cheaper, or more consumer-friendly. Unlike corporations tied to existing business models, startups can pivot and take risks. Companies like Uber, Airbnb, and even Facebook all started by identifying gaps in their respective markets. Uber disrupted the taxi industry by making ride-hailing more convenient and accessible. Airbnb transformed hospitality by allowing anyone to rent out their home, breaking the monopoly of hotel chains. The age of disruption teaches a powerful lesson. No industry is safe from innovation. What was once a corporate Goliath can be upended by a startup with a fresh perspective and a bold idea. The new business landscape belongs to those who can adapt quickly and turn disruption into opportunity. Chapter 2: The Power of Agility and Innovation. Startups are built on the foundation of agility. Unlike billion-dollar corporations with complex hierarchies and layers of bureaucracy, startups can pivot quickly. This agility allows them to innovate at a pace that large corporations simply cannot match. The ability to test, iterate, and rapidly launch new products or services is one of the most significant advantages startups hold over their corporate competitors. Spotify is a perfect example. In the pre-streaming era, companies like Apple dominated the music space with digital downloads through iTunes, but Spotify, with its innovative streaming model, offered something that resonated more to the modern consumer: access to millions of songs instantly. Spotify's subscription-based service transformed the way we listen to music and forced even Apple to play catch-up with Apple Music. In the tech world, innovation happens daily. Tesla's agility allowed it to not only develop electric vehicles, but also introduce groundbreaking innovations in battery technology, autonomous driving, and over-the-air software updates. While traditional car makers were focused on incremental improvements, Tesla reimagined what a car would be. The power of startups lies in their willingness to take risks, experiment, and move quickly. Agility is their superpower, enabling them to outperform corporations tied to slow, methodical processes. Startups not only innovate faster, but they also redefine industries in the process. Chapter 3: Embracing risk. Breaking barriers. Startups thrive in uncertainty. They don't have the comfort of existing revenue streams or the brand recognition. Instead, they embrace risk, seeing it as an opportunity rather than a liability. The risk-taker mentality is what allows startups to challenge the status quo and push the boundaries where possible. Uber exemplifies this risk-taking approach. When it launched, the taxi industry was highly regulated, and many cities were resistant to change. Instead of conforming to the rules, Uber disrupted urban transportation by launching a ride-hailing service that bypassed traditional regulatory structures. This bold move didn't come without challenges. Uber faced lawsuits and regulatory hurdles, but it ultimately redefined how we get around cities, forcing regulators and competitors alike to adapt. Startups often identify opportunities where others see insurmountable obstacles. Warby Parker, for example, entered the eyewear market, which was controlled by a few large players with hefty price tags. By going direct to consumer, Warby Parker broke the monopoly, offering stylish, affordable glasses online with a home try-on service. The risk paid off, proving that even in a saturated market, there's room for innovation and disruption. Startups are willing to bet on the future, even if it means breaking traditional barriers, redefining industries, and challenging regulations along the way. Chapter 4: Leveraging technology to level the playing field. Technology is the ultimate equalizer. Startups have harnessed the power of digital tools, cloud computing, big data, and AI to compete with billion-dollar corporations on a global scale. Unlike in the past, where only large corporations could afford cutting-edge tech, today's startups have access to the same tech, leveling the playing field. Netflix serves as a prime example of how a startup can use technology to disrupt an entire industry. In its early days, Netflix was a DVD rental service competing with Blockbuster, but when Netflix embraced streaming tech, it revolutionized how people consume content. Its recommendation algorithms, powered by big data, further personalized the user experience, giving Netflix a distinct edge over traditional cable and satellite providers. Blockbuster, despite its vast resources, was too slow to adapt streaming, and Netflix soared ahead. Similarly, companies like Zoom have taken advantage of cloud computing to scale their services globally. Zoom's intuitive user interface and seamless experience quickly outpaced larger incumbents like Skype and WebEx, which were bogged down by legacy systems. Startups leveraging tech aren't just competing, they're setting new industry standards. With the right tools and strategies, even a small startup can challenge a billion-dollar corporation in today's digital world. Chapter 5: Crowdsourcing and democratizing access. Startups are democratizing access to capital, ideas, and resources through crowdsourcing and open innovation. In the past, startups had to rely on key venture capital or traditional bank loans to get off the ground. Today, platforms like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and GoFundMe allow entrepreneurs to bypass traditional funding channels, reaching out directly to their target audience to validate and fund their ideas. Oculus Rift, the VR headset, is a great example of how crowdsourcing can lead to massive success. Founded by Palmer Luckey, Oculus Rift raised millions on Kickstarter by tapping into the gaming community's desire for immersive virtual reality experiences. The success of this campaign attracted the attention of investors and tech giants, leading to Oculus's eventual acquisition by Facebook for $2 billion. Without crowdsourcing, Oculus might have struggled to gain the initial traction needed to disrupt the gaming industry. Crowdsourcing also allows startups to harness the collective intelligence of a global community. Instead of relying solely on internal R&D, startups can gather feedback, iterate on products, and co-create with their user base. This feedback loop shortens development cycles and creates products that are more aligned with consumer desires. By democratizing access to funding and innovation, startups are challenging the billion-dollar corporations, proving that great ideas can come from anywhere and be funded by anyone. Chapter 6: The role of culture and vision. A strong culture and a clear vision often sets startups apart from their billion-dollar competitors. While corporations may focus on profitability, market share, and quarterly earnings, startups are driven by a mission. Whether it's to solve a specific problem, change an industry, or make the world a better place, the mission-driven focus attracts talent, investors, and customers who are drawn to the startup's vision. Slack, the team communication platform, built its brand not just on its tech, but on its culture of innovation and collaboration. The company's commitment to making workplace communication more efficient and enjoyable resonated with users who were tired of clunky email chains. Slack's open and inclusive culture attracted top talent who believed in the product's vision. In contrast, corporations with rigid hierarchies and outdated cultures often struggle to innovate at the pace of startups. Employees at startups are more likely to wear multiple hats, take ownerships of projects, and contribute to the company's direction. The collaborative, fast-paced environment fosters creativity and leads to groundbreaking ideas. The startup culture of agility, transparency, and purpose is more than just a buzzword, it's a strategic advantage. With a clear vision and empowered teams, startups are equipped to take on the biggest corporate players. Chapter 7: Collaboration, not competition. Startups and billion-dollar corporations are not always adversaries. In fact, many successful startups have grown by collaboration. These collaborations allow startups to leverage the resources, networks, and expertise of corporations, while offering corporations access to innovation, fresh ideas, and new markets. Take the acquisition of YouTube by Google in 2006. At the time, YouTube was still a startup with a rapidly growing user base. Rather than build a competing platform, Google recognized YouTube's potential and acquired it for $1.65 billion. The acquisition not only gave YouTube the financial backing to scale, but also allowed Google to dominate the online video space. Similarly, Amazon has acquired numerous startups to fuel its growth for new sectors. For instance, the acquisition of PillPack, a startup in the pharmacy space, allowed Amazon to enter the healthcare market with a direct-to-consumer model. These acquisitions and collaborations have allowed Amazon to diversify and stay ahead of competition. Collaboration isn't just limited to acquisitions. Corporations often partner with startups to co-develop new products, enter new markets, and solve complex problems. In this win-win scenario, startups gain access to resources they wouldn't have on their own. Chapter 8: Redefining customer experience. Startups have redefined customer experience by prioritizing personalization, convenience, and user centricity. Unlike larger corporations, which often rely on established processes, startups take a fresh approach to understanding and meeting customer needs, offering solutions that are tailored to the individual. Consider Dollar Shave Club. The traditional razor industry was controlled by a few major brands like Gillette, which sold their products in a brick-and-mortar store with high markups. Dollar Shave Club entered the market with a subscription-based model, delivering affordable, high-quality razors directly to consumers. This model not only disrupted the pricing structure, but also provided unparalleled convenience for users. The startup's ability to directly address customer pain points, high costs, and inconvenience transformed the shaving industry. By focusing on simplicity and customer experience, Dollar Shave Club built a loyal following and forced established players to rethink their approach. Startups excel in creating personalized experiences through data-driven insights. Companies like Netflix use sophisticated algorithms to recommend content based on individual viewing habits, enhancing user engagement and satisfaction. This level of personalization was previously unattainable for traditional media companies, which often relied on broad generic programming. In the realm of e-commerce, companies like Glossier have reshaped beauty retail by building strong communities and engaging directly with their customers through social media. By incorporating user feedback into product development and fostering an interactive brand experience, Glossier has created a loyal customer base that feels personally connected to the brand. Startups often have the flexibility to rapidly adjust their offerings based on customer feedback, allowing them to stay ahead of the trends and meet evolving consumer expectations. This emphasis on personalized customer-first experiences gives startups a significant advantage in attracting and retaining customers, often outpacing larger, less agile competitors. Chapter 9: The globalization of startups. Globalization has opened new opportunities for startups, allowing them to reach international markets and compete on a global stage. With the rise of digital tech and e-commerce, startups can now scale their operations beyond local borders, accessing new customer bases and resources. Startups like Shopify have enabled small businesses to go global with ease. Shopify's e-commerce platform provides tools for entrepreneurs to set up online stores, sell internationally, and manage global transactions. This democratization of e-commerce has allowed countless startups to compete with established retail giants by offering niche products. Similarly, fintech startups like Wise have disrupted the traditional banking industry by offering low-cost, transparent, international money transfers. By leveraging digital tech, Wise has been able to offer services that traditional banks couldn't match, making cross-border transactions more accessible and affordable. The rise of remote work has also played a significant role in the globalization of startups. Companies like Remote and Deal facilitate international hiring, allowing startups to build diverse teams across different countries without being constrained by geographical limitations. This global talent pool enhances innovation and provides startups with a competitive edge. By leveraging tech, Digital platforms and remote work startups are breaking down geographic barriers. The rise of startups challenging billion-dollar corporations isn't a passing trend, it's a new reality. Agility, innovation, tech, and risk-taking allow startups to punch far above their weight class. It isn't just a story of winners and losers. In many cases, it's about collaboration, innovation, and scale. In this new era, the lesson is clear. Size alone is no longer enough. Whether you're a startup founder or a corporate leader, the ability to embrace change, foster innovation, and adapt to new realities is crucial. And in a world where David can now challenge and sometimes defeat Goliath, the opportunities for disruption have never been greater.